of video conferencing is really quite simple. People sit across conference rooms and discuss business. But then, this thought is very 2001. Now, for over the last decade, we've seen a sea of change in the world of video conferencing and teleconferencing. In fact, today, it isn't just conferencing anymore, it's visual collaboration. Here's what the future of working together looks like today.
It started off as the next logical step to teleconferencing, allowing CXOs to discuss strategies or simply talk to their counterparts from across geographies via a simple screen. But in no time, video conferencing became the perfect alternative to cutting travel costs. With companies expanding and setting up branches in various corners of the world, the CXO now had the ideal platform to manage his operations across the globe, sitting behind his desk. More importantly, with video conferencing, meetings became affordable and easy to arrange. And then one fine day, the world went into a slump. Video conferencing was no longer an alternative to travel. It became the travel. With about 30% reduction in travel costs, video conferencing was clearly the only solution to cut costs while ensuring smooth operation. Not surprisingly enough, the period after saw telepresence companies experience great demand and the growth was simply swinging upwards by 2011. But ask the users of telepresence tools like video conferencing and they'll tell you that saving on travel costs is but just the tip of the iceberg. Equally significant are the 27% reduction in downtime and 24% reduction in time to market. Companies also save about 25% in training costs and sales.
Travel savings will only reduce costs by 30%, but research have proven that you can actually have savings by reducing downtime or by reducing your training cost when video is used for corporate training, or even for recruitment, or even to reduce the time to market, the time that it takes for you as a company to launch your products or your services and make them available to consumers and enterprise and businesses overall.
Meanwhile, the video conferencing landscape has also undergone a drastic change, with companies investing heavily in telepresence technology. As it is known today, the providers are displaying a wide array of options, including what they call immersive experience.
Immersive telepresence solution really give you the impression that you're sitting across the table from each other in the set room, giving you the great eye contact, a very, very different experience compared to traditional video conferencing.
Immersive experience goes beyond providing the user with a set of hardware and the software to run it. Immersive experience is exactly what it says it is. You buy the experience, and that means the furniture too. A walk around the Experience Center of Polycom, one of the leading providers of telepresence, shows the meticulous detailing and customization that goes into creating that experience. Seamlessly integrated screens to accommodate rows of chairs. Pop-up screens that ensure that everybody is on the same computer page, whichever side you're on. Overhanging microphones that ensure smooth transmission of voice, and multiple cameras to facilitate clear communication. Walk into the room and just start talking. The cameras would do the rest. Based on the principles of visual editing, the static camera would switch to the wide shot to show the room before the mobile camera zooms in on the person who's talking.
Now, gone are the days of boring single-window video conferences. Technology has grown smart enough to identify who is talking, and cameras focus in on the speaker. Dynamic switching on the go.
That's not all. The monitor at the end of the room works as an interface for both the sides and facilitates impromptu presentations and forecasts. The experience only gets better. Here one finds the furnishings done exactly the same way it's done in the foreign office, even as there is no compromise on other facilities hidden under the table. But telepresence is not just about video conferencing and the immersive experience it provides. it has forayed into wider terrain and now provides what is called visual collaboration. While video conferencing has more or less reached new heights by providing immersive telepresence, the possibilities of the medium has further expanded to encompass what is now called visual collaboration.
So initially, video conferencing or teleconferencing referred to connecting two rooms over video. That was pretty much it. But now the nature of the business we are in requires people to actually share information in real time in addition to seeing each other through video. The ability to share an Excel spreadsheet across locations so that everyone can actually work on a similar document. The ability to have access to high definition maps and make annotation in real time, annotations that actually all participants can see and comment on in real time, is a major change for enterprises. In addition to that, participants are no longer restricted to a meeting room or conference room environment. They can join virtual meetings literally from anywhere and from any device, leveraging smartphones, tablets, laptop computers, and so on and so forth, and still have this very rich experience and very rich visual collaboration experience you just referred to.
What used to be the stuff of legends and technology of well-advanced galaxies in popular science fiction stories is now just short of one more dimension.
Science fiction has strange ways of coming true. If you remember, Jules Verne wrote about 20,000 leagues under the sea. Well, we have submarines today which go, leagues under the sea. So absolutely, science fiction in its sense is a precursor to technology to come. But, multiple applications today that you can look at in terms of visual collaboration. Security, as an example. Security where, if you look back at, say, bomb blasts which have happened, easily a mobile cart or a mobile device could be taken into these areas, and people from the headquarters, the ministers, security forces, anyone can actually take a look at what's going on in those visuals coming in over video conferencing or visual collaboration devices, and instantly take whatever actions are necessary for, say, prevention of further loss of life, for enhanced security. Medical collaboration is another example that we spoke about. Designs is another one that we spoke about. But for instance, again, go to a factory floor, for instance, and if there's a machine which has had a breakdown or quality control things that you want to check, you can actually get a wheeled cart with a video conferencing unit on it into the shop floor, and visual inspection of that unit could be done from a distance.
Coming up after the break, a one-on-one with Neeraj Gill of Polycom, one of the world's leading telepresence providers, to understand the future, cloud, and of course, a few numbers.
Hi Neeraj, thank you so much for joining us here on Bloomberg TV India. I'm quite piqued. What is visual collaboration? I've seen Polycom use these words a couple of times. So help me understand this better.
Absolutely. So video conferencing is one part. Two people talking to each other or multiple people talking to each other is a conference. Well, when it's visual, then it's certainly visual conferencing or video conferencing. But conferencing or talking to each other is not the only application. You collaborate. You collaborate in many different ways. So for instance, people working on a design here and in the US can actually collaborate on a design. They can actually draw on the screen. So if somebody's got a presentation or a design on the screen, there could be people on this side, somebody presenting from the US, and people from here making edits on the screen, which can be captured on the other side. And essentially, therefore, what you're doing is you're cutting down the design process in terms of time, and therefore perhaps reducing the time in terms of time to market for your product or solution. So that's one way of collaboration. In another sense, which perhaps all of us can relate to a little better, think in terms of telemedicine. Think in terms of a doctor sitting somewhere remotely at a distance, and a person is within the ICU or within a hospital, and a specialist is not available. But a specialist is available on the other side somewhere across a video conferencing device. Now, data as well as visuals from the hospital can be transmitted to the doctor at the other end on his or her device, whatever that might be, a video conferencing unit, or something as simple as an iPad today. And the doctor can take a look at the diagnostics, the doctor can talk to the patient, and can prescribe whatever he or she wants to prescribe based on whatever the issue is from a remote distance. Now that's collaboration. That's telemedicine, but in one sense collaboration. So it's a far cry from what we used to call as simple video conferencing. The applications today are manifold, and it's true collaboration in different spheres.
Could we speak a little more about India? What has visual collaboration done within the Indian domain? How has your technology been implemented? What are the kind of changes that you're seeing within the subcontinent here?
I think all of the things that we are speaking about today are happening in some shape or form here as well. So when we talk about, for instance, product design, we are looking at organizations based here in Bangalore today which have video conferencing or visual collaboration units set up with their counterparts across in the US, and software design is being done from here, seen over there, changes, edits made, and in a sense we are cutting down product life cycles, product design cycles, not product life cycles, but product design cycles. And therefore you get a product out much quicker. For instance, even when you look at organizations like ourselves, I'm sitting here in Bangalore. This facility that we have is not only an experience center for customers to come in and take a look at various products and solutions, but it's also one of our premier development centers globally. We have people sitting here who are working on the next generation cloud-based offerings that Polycom is bringing out, the next generation immersive telepresence offerings that Polycom is going to be bringing out, and we are collaborating with our counterparts across in the US, across in Israel, and this collaboration is being done around the clock. And in a sense, therefore, we are, by example, showing how product life cycles, how product design cycles can be cut down, and we can bring these solutions to market much quicker.
I'm very fascinated by two words you used right now. One is cloud, and the other one is immersive experiences. And I'm going to quiz you on both of these because I'm very fascinated by immersive experience. I want to know if 3D hologram is the next thing you're cooking in your labs in this city. But before we get there, when we talk about cloud, video conferencing on the cloud seems a bit counterintuitive, really. Could you just explain how this works?
Absolutely. I think this is one of the trends that we would actually see happening, and it's something which is, I would say, on the cusp of happening now. And if you look at traditional video conferencing, in fact, both of us are sitting in video conferencing rooms and talking to each other. Now, traditionally, that is how video conferencing has happened, or even visual collaboration has happened in that way. And there are about, as of today, give or take a few thousand, probably about 2.5 million video-enabled boardrooms across the world. Now, that's a very finite number. And this has always been a limiting factor in terms of having people do video conferences or visual collaboration. You have to walk into these rooms in order to be able to do it, or you have to build out such rooms. Now, one of the things that we've heard CIOs ask very, very often is, how do I get this ability out into the hands of my people wherever they are at whatever time they want it? So this ability should be able to move out to the desktop. This ability should be able to move out to mobile devices such as iPads, Galaxy tabs, such as the iPhones, or whatever it is, whatever device that people are carrying, including a laptop. So you should essentially be able to collaborate with someone else within your organization or outside of your organization for that matter, irrespective of whether you're sitting at home, in a hotel, in a coffee bar somewhere. You should be able to have at least perhaps a reduced version, but the same experience that you would have sitting in a room like this. So there are two parts to making that actually happen. One is that we have to ensure that there are software-based offerings which are available such that you can turn an iPad into a video conferencing device which you can use to dial into immersive telepresence rooms and into video conferencing rooms like this. The second is that not everything should be existing on your own network. Now, when you're going home, you still want to be able to collaborate, but you're not sitting on the enterprise network. When you're in a hotel, you still want to collaborate, but you're not sitting on the enterprise network. And therefore, there is one of two things which you can be doing. One is that you can be sitting on a service provider's network, but still utilizing your own infrastructure to connect. But when you're looking at proliferation of video, then CIOs, whether it's large organizations or small organizations, would eventually prefer that some of that infrastructure and its management moves out into the cloud. And you're seeing that happen in various other places. You're seeing that happen in software, you're seeing that happen in storage,